Hey folks, I thought I would finally roll out my video on my Stormbrand Inquisitor. At this point I'm 83. I could pour on a bunch more levels. It's slowly improving over time as I go. I am not quite as down on this build as I originally was. So I've got a cemetery map, not amazing, but I'm kind of staying in that low red tier. I throw on some scarabs just to try and hopefully limit the annoying content that I don't want to do while I'm recording a video. So we'll knock this out real quick and talk about it. Cemetery is just a map that I really like because I've gotten a brother's gift drop from here, and it made me want more. So essentially, I am running around, dropping Stormbrands as one do, and I'm occasionally dropping Orb of Storms. This dude's kind of tanky. This is not my first death of the thing. There we go. Okay, and I'm charging around with shield just to kind of speed up the transit. How this came about is in Lake Kalandra League. So actually, let me take a step back further. Last league I recorded some footage of a Wintertide Brand Occultist, which is kind of an attempt at a redemption build. During Sentinel, I played around with Wintertide on an Inquisitor, and I liked it a lot. So I thought it would be kind of cool to see if I could make this build really work. And it did. I was kind of down on it again because, compared to some of the other builds that I've had, brand builds are just slow. They're not the fastest thing in the world, but it did pretty good. I enjoyed it. So during Lake of Kalandra League, I decided, okay, I want to play a brand build because I liked brand as a gameplay style in Sentinel. So I will try Stormbrand because Velnia had a Stormbrand Inquisitor build, and I'm like, okay, we'll try that. And to be fair, her builds are not as tanky as I tend to like builds. So that was a disconnect that I was not prepared for. Because this is not exactly what I would call a tanky build. I'm running around with, 1800 health, and as a low life build. What the hell is hitting me? These stupid golems. Okay. So that's not necessarily my preference, but I struggled a lot with Stormbrand during Kalandra. And most of it's because, going back after the fact, I noticed, none of my resistances are capped. I don't have anything resembling, real defensive layers. So, of course I failed. And the same was true with EA Champion that I played during Sentinel League, I think. So I gave a bit of a redemption arc to EA Champion last league, and it was great. Once I put some defensive layers on it, once I actually capped my resists, I had no problem with it. And I even farmed Elder and stuff like that with it. It was great. So I thought, okay, after all the frustrations that I had with Stormbrand, I'd kind of like to see what a real Stormbrand build would feel like. And that was my attempt with this build, is giving it a real proper shake at, is this any fun? And the truth is, it's not bad. It gets better the more points that I've invested. So, you know, the closer I get to 100, and the more points I have in my tree, it's pretty good. Like it's pretty reasonable. Like this is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I could probably do tier 16s. They might be a little tough because at the end of the day, I just don't have a lot in the way of defensive layers. You know, we're not going to do the Blight. We'll do the Legion though. And Legion can sometimes be a little rippy, so we'll hope that I'm doing okay here. Running out of time. This is definitely not my fastest Legion build. It does acceptably. It's not the best thing in the world. Mostly just because I can't get too terribly close to things. I have to keep running away from them. Oh, and we got a general too. Okay. Sweet. Ugh. I'm slowed. Yeah, this doesn't do a great job of killing things that are fairly tanky. It takes a while. I've got Culling Strike on Orb of Storms. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the other annoying thing about this build is I have a bajillion auras on it. So I have to turn on all my auras, summon my little golem, and now I'm back to where I was. So let's finish off the... Let's try and finish off the Legion. Okay, that was the general, I think. Did I get everything? Okay, so let's take out the boss. And then we'll talk about the build. Okay, so... this is not a cheap build by any stretch of the imagination. You know, I'm using Impulse's Broken Heart, and that was around 3 Divines for one that was fully linked. I'm using 2 Call of the Brotherhoods that have 48% of lightning damage converted to cold damage. So combined gives me, what, 94%? Damage, or 96% of my damage converted to cold. I actually picked up this +1 lightning skill gems necklace. Had to put some more dexterity on it because I was running low on dexterity. I picked up the wand as well off the ground. I had the heat shiver lying around, but I did have to buy gloves and the Stygian Vice and the boots and the shield. I'm having to use shield to cap out my resistances. But the really expensive thing is I had to... So I've got one in my belt, but I've got another 50% chance to avoid shocked gem in the tree, and I've got a storm shroud in the tree, making me element immune. So as a result, I'm running... I've not even put any points in there. So I've got Brine King and Aberrath. So at some point, I need to sort out my Pantheon, because these are not really doing anything for me at the moment. Let's see. Other than that, like defenses wise, I've got 78 on elemental, 75 on chaos. I have no real armor to speak of, even less evasion to speak of. My block chance is negligible. Um, so, like this is not the sturdiest build in the world, but it does pretty good. Like I have played worse builds. I'm not sure how much I want to mess with the build though. Like I'm kind of running maps occasionally on it, just to get it some levels, but I have way smoother mappers. Um, my minion guardian is way smoother than this build is. So um, I don't know. I feel like I did what I set forth to do. Is I wanted to see what Stormbrand actually felt like when I threw together a build reasonably well. And it's fine. Like I can do maps, I can do other content, um, but it's also like has a very small hit point pool, and um, also is running Petrified Blood, and I'm running Clarity and Vitality and Defiance Banner and Determination and Precision and Discipline, and a Stone Golem, and together that feels okay. But yeah, I'm not sure what I think of this. Like, it's aggressively fine. But anyway, I wanted to finally record one of these videos and show this off before moving on to whatever my next project is. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.